I'm taking a trip to Japan for the climbing experience of a lifetime. Now, I'm sure we all know this, but Japan is known for its crazy climbing gyms and also its crazy climbing socks. And you may be wondering, why do you need to go to Japan just for climbing socks? And it's because climbing without socks is kind of nasty, but more so because climbing socks are only native to Japan. Hence why their whole national team wears socks, but others don't. So in the plane, I figured I should get the socks in Tokyo and then climb near my hotel in Kyoto. Then I made it to Tokyo and I was drinking this pretty good drink, I'm not gonna lie. The next day, I went straight to B-Pump and found myself some climbing socks. I was genuinely surprised that they actually had them, so I bought 2 pairs. Now, I'm in Kyoto. So, about that gym next to my hotel in Kyoto, I did end up going, but there was a slight problem. When we went there, the guy told us that we needed parental consent, and my parents were not with me in Japan. So it was kind of hard to get parental consent, and we couldn't climb. It's fine though, because I tested the socks at my home gym. My first impressions were that they definitely air out your feet, and it felt like I was walking barefoot in the gym, basically. And since I was in Japan for like a week, basically half of my gym got reset, and I started warming up on the V4s and ended up flashing each of them. Now, I think this green one was genuinely like very easy. I think there was only like one part of this entire climb that I felt was a bit tricky, and it was like kind of transferring over to the final 2 holds. So I used this toe hook and it just made the job super easy, and then I matched. This next V4 was probably my favorite V4 of the ones that I flashed, and it's kind of like slabby with a bunch of slopers, and honestly it was so fun to like just maneuver around this thing, like especially this part, trying to put your leg there, you have to have good balance, but the rest of it was pretty easy. The hardest part on this one was probably just getting yourself up here and matching. This next V4 was probably the hardest of the ones that I tried. Don't mind this girl that's coming in, she's just saying hi. Also, it was like kind of crimpy at some parts. It started off on an overhang, and like this part was kind of crimpy. Trying to like transfer your body over to the final hold was probably the hardest part on this climb. I was trying to figure out a way to grab the next hold. I grabbed it in a pinch style, but really didn't like how that felt, so I turned my hand and tried to maneuver over. This was so unstable, but I ended up just reaching and grabbing the match. Now, this yellow slopery V4 also had some crimps in it, but honestly, overall, it was pretty easy. Just a bunch of reach ups, and honestly was probably one of the easiest of the ones that I did, if I'm gonna be honest. Not much to say on this one. The hardest part was just getting yourself up here, probably. I put my knee there to stabilize myself and it worked, so I'm not mad at it, and the reach at the end was so easy as well. And here's the last of the V4s that I did, definitely my least favorite V4. At some point, it scraped my legs. It was like crimpy. I mean, I had to do this heel hook here, and like pushing into the wall just scraped my leg right there, which was kind of annoying. It's not that it was hard, it was just very annoying. But in the end, I got the match pretty easy. Don't mind that guy. At this point, I got bored of warming up and I started going for harder climbs. Got this V5 on my second try after seeing that I could completely destroy the beta, or the intended beta at least. Like, I basically like completely ignored that hold on the bottom right. I found it completely useless, and I realized I could just like mantle my body upwards instead of having to go all around. And it was just so much easier that way, because there was a crimp placed at like the perfect spot, and it just made it like 10 times easier. Does it count as a V5? I think so, bro. Then I went for this V5, this red V5. Started off with crimps. I also got it on my second try, actually. Started off with crimps, and then to a big sloper, and then an undercling sloper after you mantle up with that little foothold. And it's honestly like really easy. I kind of hurt my knee there by placing my knee, like it scraped my knee. But it's fine because I sent it in the end. Feeling good, so I'm gonna go try a V6 now. Got on this V6 that didn't look too hard. Knew I had to start with a little heel hook, but I was just like kind of doing trial and error. The start was honestly pretty difficult for me. It was kind of difficult to reach the second move, but I just kept trying different things. Like I put my foot on the wall here to reach over to the next hold, which I fell. But most of this climb was just trial and error, and honestly, like, it was just too annoying to keep trying, and at some point I was just like getting tired of it. So I gave it a few more attempts and then I quit. Trying a new V6 now. So basically I saw another semi-doable V6. I got this attempt here, which like showed me how doable it actually was. In all honesty, the only move that I really struggled with was the first move, because it was like a one-hand like dynamic move to a crimp that was honestly very difficult. So I made it here on this attempt, and then it kind of just all went to shit. So here's like a show of the dyno. This dyno like really hurt my hands, like a lot. So I gave so many attempts, but my hands were like killing. I kid you not, even like 3 days after, while recording the voiceovers, my hands, like the skin on the tip of my fingers, are like actually cooked. I got another good attempt here, which showed me once again that it was doable. So I just kept continuing, and after this attempt, I went back to failing, because I knew I could get it. So I just put my all into this climb, because it's a V6 after all, and that's like near my plateau. So I just kept trying the dyno, kept failing. Until this attempt where I actually stuck it. And at this point I started to realize like I have 10 minutes left. The gym closed at 11, it was 10:50. My phone was at like 4%, so I knew I only had a few shots left to get it. And I got this attempt. I got so close, like I was actually crying. Like I thought it was over. Oh, I wasn't actually crying, but I thought it was over. I lost my stability right here at the end, holding on for dear life with my left hand, and I fell. My fingers were killing at this point, so I took a little break. With 4% left on my phone, 10 minutes left, I got one last attempt. So here I reached the final hold, and I was trying to figure out a way to get my right hand for the match, and I just couldn't. So I ended up just wrapping my leg around the volume and praying, and I ended up getting it. Got the V6, let's go. So here I'm just testing the socks to see if my feet were really sweaty, so I stood in place for a few seconds. So, I mean, I don't see a big difference in the socks, but I did hit a V6, and my feet are definitely not that sweaty. So it's a win. And now I'm sick. So that climbing session got me sick. So please subscribe. Like seriously, please. Like I'm desperate.